Before the 20th century, evangelists were ecstatic if just 10% of people who came forward for prayer were saved at the altar. Today, everyone who repeats a formula salvation prayer is told they are born again and again and again. Either we've improved the gospel or our methods are producing a staggering number of stillbirths. Salvation prayer evangelism. A Gallup poll released in 1990 showed 74% of Americans thought they had made a personal commitment to Jesus Christ, and 95% of those were willing to call it a born-again experience. This makes perfect sense when you realize how the gospel was presented in the late 20th century. Most made a personal commitment to Jesus Christ by repeating a salvation prayer and were told they were born again. How people get saved today. Step number 1. A sermon is given requiring a response. Stay in your seat and miss out on what God has for you, or come forward and receive a no-obligation gift from God. He'll give you help in this life and heaven in the next. Step number 2. Repeat the salvation prayer. It's seen as a marriage vow which God will always honor. Most evangelicals teach no matter how you live your life after this point, you will still go to heaven, which compounds the problem. The evangelical sacrament. Although many evangelicals believe if someone is water baptized, it's not necessarily an indication of saving faith, they do believe that going forward in an altar call and repeating a salvation prayer is an indication of saving faith. Most fall away. Church-wide, there's an 84 to 97% fall away rate among those who make decisions for Christ at the altar. Before the 20th century, evangelists were ecstatic if just 10% of people who came forward for prayer were saved at the altar. The most logical inference is the 20th century evangelism practice of telling everyone they are saved at the altar without regard for their true condition is responsible for a staggering number of stillborn instead of born-again Christians. How did modern evangelism evolve into the present-day system? In the first half of the 1800s, Charles Finney began using methods designed to encourage seekers to immediately confront their lost condition. After a church service, he asked seekers to come to an after-meeting or inquiry room where they can confess their sins, receive counsel, and be prayed for. This is why Finney is called the father of the altar call. Charles Finney examined seekers to determine their heart condition. Charles Finney never told people they were saved because they had come forward in an altar call. He never used anything like a salvation prayer. He once said, "Never tell a sinner anything or direct him to do anything that will stop him short of absolute submission to God." Suppose you tell an unbeliever to pray or to read or to do anything less than saving repentance, and that night he falls and breaks his neck. Whom will God blame? It makes the hearts of the faithful bleed to see how many people delude anxious sinners. The last great evangelist to use sound evangelism methods and theology was D.L. Moody. For D.L. Moody, the sermon was the prelude to the after-meeting, where he threw himself into the fray of seekers. He was patient and thorough dealing with each case, no hurrying from one to another. The 19th century altar call never implied people who came forward would be immediately saved. It merely invited sinners to come to an inquiry room where trained counselors could answer questions and help seekers in the process of repentance. But all this was about to change.